because he always made it tough for me. Obviously, he's an aggressive defender.
There is an ancient law in defending that has governed the game for decades. A law written in blood, sweat, and tactical fouls. The rule was simple. If the player passes, the ball doesn't pass. And if the ball passes, the player doesn't pass. It was a philosophy of survival. It cost Ramos 28 red cards and a lifetime of suspensions. But 3 years ago, a warning was issued from the shadows of French football. A new version of the centre-back was being coded. One that didn't need to break the rules, because he had rewritten them. Meet Abdukodir Khusanov. He possesses the same diabolical technique as the masters, but he has deleted the flaws. While the legends of the past were weapons, he is a ghost. He is the prophecy fulfilled. The player passes, the ball passes, but only when he allows it. This is the end of the Ramos era. This is the Khusanov protocol. To understand the Khusanov protocol, you have to look at what doesn't happen. In the 2025/26 Premier League season, Khusanov has played over 1,100 minutes. His red card count? 0. His yellow cards? Only 2. For a defender operating in Pep Guardiola's high line, these aren't just stats, they are anomalies. Look at the stance. This is what we call the diabolical technique. While Ramos would commit to the body to ensure the player didn't pass, Khusanov uses a 45-degree angle to guide the attacker into a trap. He doesn't want to stop you, he wants to steal from you. He wins 58% of his duels not through strength, but through positioning. He is an improved version of the old law. Smarter, cleaner, and significantly more dangerous. When City paid the fee to Lens in January 2025, the world asked why. Now they're asking how. How does a 22-year-old from Uzbekistan make the most violent job in football look like a game of chess? The answer lies in a warning Ramos gave us 3 years ago, and the one thing he forgot to mention.
Kadir, welcome to Manchester City. How does it feel
Before
to be
the bright
one of
lights
our
of the
players
Etihad,
now?
there was the silence of Belarus. In 2022, while the world's elite scouts were fighting over the next Brazilian wonderkid, an 18-year-old from Tashkent was quietly being ranked as the 15th most promising centre-back on the planet. But he didn't play like a teenager. He played like a man who had already seen how the story ends. When Lens paid just £84,000 for him in 2023, they didn't just get a bargain, they got a prototype. In League One, the most physical league in Europe, Khusanov began to display a terrifying level of composure. He clocked a top speed of 37 kilometers per hour. That's faster than almost every striker he faced. But he never used that speed to chase. He used it to close the door before the attacker even reached it. This was the Lens experiment. He averaged fewer touches and fewer forward carries than his teammates. He wasn't there to play the ball, he was there to deny the space. This is where he perfected the transition from the Ramos old law to the City new law. He realized that if you are fast enough and smart enough, the sliding tackle becomes obsolete. In 31 appearances for Lens, he made the difficult look invisible. City scouts didn't just see a fast defender, they saw a player who had deleted the panic from his game. They saw the 94th percentile in defensive efficiency. In January 2025, when the call came from Manchester, it wasn't a transfer. It was an extraction. Pep Guardiola had found the only player who could survive his system without ever needing to break a bone.
Kadir, welcome to Manchester City. How does it feel to be
When Abdukodir
Khusanov
Khusanov arrived at Manchester City in January 2025, the English press called it a depth signing. They saw a 20-year-old from Uzbekistan and expected him to spend 2 years on the bench learning the Pep way. They didn't realize that Khusanov didn't need to learn the system. He was the system's missing piece.
Well, Mamadashvili's played a long ball through. Khusanov tries to get to Salah. Salah foul.
In his first start at Anfield, the most high-pressure environment in world football, Khusanov produced a performance that felt illegal. He finished the match with 100% tackle success and 96% passing accuracy, but it was the way he did it. While other defenders were sprinting and sliding to keep up with the pace, Khusanov looked like he was playing at half speed. He was always 3 steps ahead of the ball. This is where the diabolical technique becomes a weapon for Guardiola. Usually playing a high line is a gamble. If the ball goes over the top, you're dead. But with Khusanov, there is no gamble. His recovery speed is so elite that he allows strikers to run past him, only to pick their pocket 2 seconds later. He is the only defender in the world who can defend 40 yards of open space behind him without ever committing a foul. The Premier League has a Khusanov problem. Strikers are used to defenders who bite. They are used to the Ramos style, the physical contact, the psychological war. But Khusanov gives them nothing. No contact, no conversation, just the silent removal of the ball. He has turned the most aggressive league in the world into a library. Ramos warned us 3 years ago that the game was changing. He knew that the era of the enforcer was dying, but even he couldn't have predicted this. Khusanov isn't just a defender. He is the evolution of the species, a player who has mastered the violence of the past and refined it into the silence of the future. The law of the ball and the player hasn't changed, but Abdukodir Khusanov has found a third option, one where he takes the ball, keeps the player, and leaves the red card in the referee's pocket. The prophecy is complete. The ghost has arrived.